As numbers breach the 10,000 mark in just the last 24 hours, what impact is this having on movement in Gauteng? Many people are staying at home. Others are happy braving public services. The results are staggering. Business is dwindling and car guards are feeling it. Our reporter Nqobile Madlala is out in Greenside, Johannesburg this evening. Nqobile, talk us through what you are seeing. What are people saying?
Well, Jane, we did start in Greenside, where it was a bit more quiet, where we saw a lot of restaurants with empty seats and a little bit less people there. But now we have decided to move to Melville. Now, you will know that Melville is the area where a lot of young people come to have fun. And that's exactly what's happening here. You'll see around me, a lot of them just having fun. The numbers are a little less now. But when we first arrived here, Jane, it was very busy. A lot of people were here. We even had an issue with traffic trying to get in, as well as trying to get our cars parked in. But we have already heard some of the people that own these restaurants saying that people must get ready, they are about to close down. So we're seeing less of them now in the space, but they are going to go away. But we have one of the people here, of course, who is here having lots of fun. We want to find out from you, sir, are you enjoying yourself today?
You know, there's still a lot of camaraderie here in Marvel, and I think that is key, because we don't want to feel like we are stifled, but at the same time I feel like we are still together, but social distancing in a way. I feel that we are, like, it's a great time. It's Marvel. Who doesn't love Marvel?
Tell me, because we're seeing numbers staggering high. Are you not scared of getting COVID? I mean, it's so difficult.
Look, of course I am, but keep your mask on. Don't hug, kiss anybody, which is what we used to do. That's what Marvel is about. It's about loving each other, and it's about being open. But we don't do that right now. And that's okay.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll let you to go. Thank you. So, Jane, as you can see, more cars still parked here. The area is still a bit busy. A lot of other people have left because when we first came in, it was way, way too busy. But essentially, just like what that gentleman was telling us, Matthew, saying that this area is about loving each other, so they're basically here to have fun.
I know, but the problem with loving each other is that you get a little too close, don't you? Especially after a couple of bottles of wine or whatever it is they're drinking. So I should imagine there is some concern when people leave and go home and take with whatever they've picked up with them. I'm not saying a person, but whatever on the surroundings with them, that it could cause danger.
Yes, of course, Jane. Of course, we got to worry about those things. But, of course, like what he was saying, distancing and masks, I mean, we don't know how long they can keep it for, especially when you're having lots and lots of fun. But it's a different scenery when we went to Greenside. In fact, when we saw in Greenside, even the tables were separated. But now here, a lot more people just having fun. But a lot of them also, Jane, they seem like they've had a little bit more than one glass of wine.
Nqobile, I can imagine. Thanks. We're going to leave it there, and I suggest you go home too before the curfew starts. And let's go over to, I believe it's Maboneng, and we've got Nkosazana, Dambuza there. What is it that you are seeing tonight?
Well, Jane, I'm in Maboneng, an ideal place for locals and tourists for a night on the town. And I can tell you that I've certainly noticed that there are a smaller number of patrons and partygoers who have come out to the restaurants and bars tonight compared to the large crowds that normally fill the streets and pavements of Maboneng, making it even difficult to walk around. Tonight we've just seen a general flouting of COVID-19 regulations. We know that the government is urging patrons to avoid crowded places, closed spaces and close contact settings, and to practice social distancing and sanitizing hands regularly, as well as the wearing of masks in public, which we have seen very little of in Maboneng. Youngsters here are partying the night away, seemingly without being concerned about the spread of the COVID-19 virus and the increasing cases in Johannesburg and the country as a whole, Jane. But I'm joined now by one of the residents, Mam Arinet, but she's not only just a residents. She in fact sells masks to patrons and people here in the area who don't have any masks at hand. Thank you so much, Ma'am Abinet, for your time. Can you tell us, why did you see a need to sell masks? Were you noticing that people are not wearing masks in public?
I've noticed that most of our young people, when they come to Maboneng, sometimes they do forget their mask in the Uber, and then sometimes their masks, they are torn. So I've seen a need that I must start selling to them so that I can protect them from COVID-19, and again, so that they mustn't close our lifestyle center, because that's where we're making our bread and butter every day. I'm here every day selling to them.
But do you think that young people are concerned about contracting the virus? Do you think that they are worried at all that they might not only just infect themselves, but perhaps go home and infect their relatives?
Not really. Some, but not all. Because some of them, they don't want to buy. Some of them, they don't want to wear them. So we force them to wear, because no one can enter in our lifestyle center without a mask.
Which is absolutely very concerning. And I can also attest to the fact that young people are indeed generally flouting the COVID-19 regulations. Jane, earlier I was in Braamfontein, where I saw that a lot of young people weren't wearing masks, they weren't adhering to social distancing measures, or even sanitizing when entering many of the establishments there. And I spoke to some of the patrons, and I will tell you that some don't even believe that the COVID-19 virus exists, and some are just saying that they live very stressful lives, and they feel that they still need to be allowed to be able to go out and enjoy their youth despite the 10 p.m. curfew. So yeah, we know that these establishments have only about, I understand, less than 2 hours to close. So it'll be interesting to see whether they in fact will close their doors before the curfew time, and whether these young people will be home by 10 p.m. Dane.
Gosh, that really is the problem, isn't it? I mean, there are the fault lines, the fact that so many people still don't believe in protecting themselves when they go out. And this is the first Friday under the new lockdown, and let's hope that it ends safely. And ladies, thank you very much. Nqobile, Madlala, Nkosazana, Dambuza. Thanks for getting a taste, a sense of what's happening on the streets of Johannesburg.